A very clear sign that things have changed in Kenya, and they have changed dramatically. Take careful note of the fact that nobody mentions Raila Odinga anymore. When we're having national conversations on social media, people are not mentioning Raila Odinga. People are not mentioning Azimio. It's very rare. You know, before the political discussion in the country would always involve Azimio, would always involve Raila Odinga. But now, it just involves two sides. Ruto versus the rest. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's Azimio or whether which party, which tribe, it doesn't matter. It is simply Ruto versus the rest. Friends, that is a very bad sign. When a government reaches a situation where it distributes information that is not accurate, false information, then you know, as a country, you are in serious trouble. Very serious trouble. Indeed, in trouble that is more than serious. But if there's anything that Kenyans have learned the hard way over the last 11 months or so, is that a government at the end of the day boils down to the character of a man. The character of the man leading that government. Scrolling through social media today will give you a very good idea of what is happening in the country called Kenya. Going through social media today will tell you the truth. Although I dare add, in most cases, will give you a good laugh. Yeah, because Kenyans have that endearing ability of turning the worst news into a comedy show. I have really laughed this morning. And I'm still in that camp that believes, no matter how bad things are, laughing is very important. It is extremely important. Because maybe it is the only thing that keeps many Kenyans right now sane. And I'm very serious about that. The character of a man, the character of a woman. I did quite a number of videos in the run-up to the last elections where I focused on this until some of you got bored. But then now, it is right at the center of our focus. It has to be. Because you see, the problem in Kenya today are not the policies. The problems we are facing are not decisions, very bad decisions made by government. No, that's not the crux of the problem. That is not our problem. The problem in Kenya today is the character of people making decisions in that government. Period. Nothing less, nothing more. And evidence and information is continuing to emerge at a very rapid rate. Pauline Njoroge, an official of the Jubilee Party and a close aide of former President Uhuru Kenyatta, has released some very scary information. Okay, I believe most of you have already seen it. According to Pauline Njoroge, early in the Uhuru Ruto administration, there were things which happened where cabinet secretaries were receiving instructions from the then deputy president. And these instructions had to do with money. Okay? And of course, these CSs, in a panic, went to Uhuru Kenyatta and reported this information. And of course, the president then picked up the phone and called his deputy, who strongly denied that anything like that had happened. And this happened many times until the CSs just stopped calling Uhuru. Bottom line, it seems that it took a very long time for the president to realize the character of his deputy president. And there's more. When the truth started emerging towards the tail end of the Uhuru Kenyatta presidency, the president then had a meeting with the bishops in the country, and he told them the truth about what is happening, and especially about his relationship with his deputy. And of course the bishops decided, let's also hear the other side of the story. And they called in the then deputy president, who told them a very different story. Denied completely what he was being accused of. Yeah. Now the super fascinating thing is that all these bishops now, according to Pauline Njoroge, have realized when it is too late who was telling the truth between President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and his deputy William Samoei Ruto. Indeed, only one bishop believed Uhuru. Only one. A man called Silas Yego, from Rift Valley, and the spiritual mentor of former President Daniel Toroitich arap Moi. That is the only bishop who believed Uhuru Kenyatta. The only one. And therefore, on the surface of things, according to the bishops, maybe he was not telling the truth. Because of his lifestyle. What? Folks, if there's another lesson we must take home now, and we must use for the rest of our lives, is that you do not tell the character of a man from things you see on the surface. No. Because that man can control those things very easily. Somebody can even drink his whiskey in secret, and you'll all be fooled. The character of a man comes from their actions and their track record. You cannot run away from your track record. In the past, how did this man behave? What has he done? How has he behaved in the encounters we have had with this man, where there's nothing he's looking for? How has he behaved? And now we come to the bombshell of this video. Okay? Today, I am making a prediction of what we should all expect to follow. And it is a prediction I made a long time ago. But then I guess now I have more of your attention than I did then. Because now things are becoming very clear. And the direction in which the country called Kenya is going towards, the road on which the country is right now, is fairly obvious. It is much clearer. And it all has to do with the basics, the character of a man. And here's my prediction. Whatever a man plants in this life, they will surely harvest. They will surely reap. You cannot plant maize and expect to harvest beans. No, that has never happened and will never happen. Exactly what you have planted is exactly what you will get back, what you'll reap, what you'll harvest. And what this government has done is to plant chaos, suffering, revolution. Let me even simplify it further. There are some parents who teach their children how to steal when their children are very young. And it's all a very big joke. But in the end, they harvest exactly what they planted. Because even that child, those children of yours you taught to steal, end up stealing from you. True story. In other words, what you plant, you yourself will harvest. And if you're in a position of authority, others will also harvest. Because those same children will steal from your neighbors. They will steal from the other relatives. That is really what it is. That's the reality. So it is really very simple To know what is coming next, we need to go back to the beginning of this administration. What did they plant? What happened during the Mandamanos? What was planted during the Mandamanos? Okay? And then you'll have your answer of exactly what is coming. Bottom line, we all suffer, and we all suffer greatly. Only God Almighty can save us. And indeed, even if you have not been praying, now is a good time to start praying and crying out to God Almighty for mercy upon the nation called Kenya. If I've made you panic, if I've made you feel that I'm exaggerating, that I've gone too far, I have news for you. I am afraid I have only given you a tip of the iceberg. I'm afraid things are much worse than what you're scared of. Now, I'd like to appeal to all regulars of this channel who enjoy my videos to bear with me as I reorganize myself. I was recently crippled in a very major way. I'm afraid I can't give you details because some of those people responsible for it have access to this video, and I'll be giving them valuable information so that they know what to do next, which I don't want to. I am of course very much aware that I have managed to gather some very powerful enemies to this channel and what we stand for, a better Kenya. Okay, there are very many people opposed to that, powerful people who would like to retain the status quo at all costs. And some of them think that this channel, with the small audience it has, is a hindrance. And of course, this is not the first time. I have constantly faced these kinds of challenges right from the beginning of the Kumekucha brand. It's nothing new. But the latest one, was a little harder than those of the past. And of course, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank very much those who support this channel through thick and thin. Okay? Those whom Almighty God has touched and continues to touch to keep us going. Because I believe what we do here is a calling. It is more than just an ordinary channel for your entertainment. It is a calling. And there is a purpose, a very important purpose that has to be achieved by this channel. And indeed it will be achieved. It can't be stopped. If you feel that you need this very important content and your budget doesn't quite cut it to enable you to get your hands on it, for the next 24 hours, you can name your price. Lakini usinifinye sana. And for that reason, the limit will be 50. The first 50 to send me an email. On that email address you see on your screens right now, you miss this at gmail.com, naming your price. And then guess what? I will also throw in another valuable Kumekucha book. You can choose for yourself, or you can allow me to choose for you. The most liked of my other ebooks, of course, is Dark Secrets of the Kenyan Presidency, How Mutula Kilonzo Sr. was murdered. And then there's another one called The President's Lovers. Now that last one of you took it in recently, and they were delighted, very excited about it. And yes, it talks about a Kenyan president. And so, you have this very exciting opportunity. Please take full advantage of it. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.